The Bush portable radio, an iconic design from 1957. This was the model MB60. Designed by David Ogle, a renowned designer of the time. The tuning dial is at the front and the controls on top. Large chunky controls, well marked. It's a two-band radio, medium wave and long wave. And this the on-off button with the tone control. And have a look around the sides. The radio is encased in a white and red cabinet. With a brass trim. This radio design was famously nicknamed the handbag. This is the carrying handle. It's a mains and battery powered radio. There are two sockets at the back, an aerial socket for connecting an external radio, and a main socket. This is the collector lead. It supplies the AC power when plugged in. One screw holds the back cover in place, and to undo it you may require the use of a small coin. This is the inside of the cover. With insulators for 5 valves. And this is the socket for the mains lead. This is the battery connector. This is the speaker. These are the controls. It's a variable potentiometer. Nice large dial for easy control. The band selector. It's a rotary switch which makes and breaks contacts. This is the on-off button with the tone control. Another potentiometer with an on-off switch. Bush invented the first miniature electronic valves to enable them to produce portable equipment. These are the miniature valves invented in 1957. They use far less power and take far less space. Meanwhile, in the United States, work was progressing on the newly invented transistor, now being used inside small pocket radios. There's a link here on the mains PCB which allows for various voltages to be selected according to the country of use. Let's power up the radio. When you plug in the mains plug, it disconnects the battery with the use of a PCB sliding switch. Turn the radio on.
Nurses, but they looked medical, and they're wheeling this trolley round that had tea and coffee on it, and guess what? Laden
And adjust the
with
volume.
chocolate bars and sweets. I just sat there and looked at this thing, and I made myself not say anything because it's not these ladies' fault.
And they were probably, I bet they were so well motivated as well. I bet they were thinking people need a bit of joy and a bit of help and a bit of comfort and a bit of sugar.
Indeed. Well, I'm a graphic designer, but
The heater element inside the valve uses such little power that it does not glow.
More than they did 10 years ago, and probably more than the majority of the population, because I made it my business to, so I could look after myself and I help friends, and I've actually been paid to write about healthcare and stuff like this. So, you know, I know a bit. I'm not a doctor, but I know sugar and cancer is just a no-no. And this is the country's leading cancer specialist hospital.
Yeah.
And they're lovely and they're brilliant, and the doctor we had was fantastic. And, you know, I'm not having a go at the Marsden, but I'm even considering writing to the MD or somebody there. Maybe this will get out there, because it's you know, if they have a
These are the
trolley going
positions
around
of
with
the
this on,
valves
then God knows what else
and
is
the
going on
types.
out there. The problem. Can I just say very quickly,
Yeah, of course you can.
despite the steroids, which, as I say, make you starving and put on weight, they make you store fat.
You can replace the back cover, making sure that the center screw is only ever hand tight. And you can plug in the mains lead again. Turn the radio around. This is the tuning dial. It shows the reception frequencies for long and medium waves, together with countries to indicate the locations of their stations. Let's turn it on. It's tuned to the long wave. If we turn the radio around, we can pick up that station it's tuned to.
On suspicion of the attempted murder of an Irishman from County Meath outside the grounds of...
That's because there's a ferrite aerial inside the radio.
We're listening to program produced
That's
by
directional.
Research, Alistair McConnell, broadcast coordinator.
Turn it on. And locate a station by turning the dial.
Tickets on at inflated prices. What do you want the government to do?
Really enforce the existing consumer legislation. And what we're seeing at the moment is the
You can change the
legislation
band.
that requires secondary
Medium.
sites to
and retune.
Macron's been very compliant with his body language. He's very obedient. He just stood there with his hands down by his sides looking a little bit sheepish. So the affection, it's a bit like the Lion King, you know, it looks almost as though Trump's presenting his firstborn to the world or something.
Well, yes, we can accept, for example, there was hugging, there was a Gallic kiss, that's fairly standard issue for Frenchmen in that culture, but hand-holding, this is a bit strange, is that Trump was holding Macron's hand, he also held Theresa May's hand. Well, what does that mean? I'm in charge, come here, child.
Well, I was fascinated, obviously, by the original Theresa May hand clasp. I think that had a slightly different provenance because at the time, I don't know, he seems to be a bit like a Dalek where he doesn't like doing stairs or something, but it was momentary and he kind of put his hand out. It's as though he just wanted to steady and it didn't really turn into the clasp that it looked like in the photographs. But these two men do seem to be doing a lot of long-lasting hand-holding that then turns into a sort of victory gesture where they clasp hands and wave them together in the air. And, I mean, it extended to the wives as well, you know. I mean, at one stage they all stood on the balcony in a little line-up and joined hands and raised their hands in the air as though it was almost a dynasty thing going on.
Judy James, body language expert. I wonder what she'd make of the fact that every time I think of getting a peck of the cheek from Donald Trump, I want to curl up into the fetal position. Phil Goodlad is back with the Sport in Depth.
It was one of the most dramatic moments, kind of, the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games.
There were various successors to the MB60, but these were transistor versions made in 1959 in chrome and brass, the TR-82. It was a battery-only version. Using a PP9 battery of 9 volts. The Bush Company became insolvent in the 90s and China bought the trade name and produced 2 further versions of the oval design. The TR-82/97. And later the DAB radio. Both of these were mains and battery powered.